Good afternoon, and happy Grandparents' Day to all the grandparents in our community. Now, in the time of Jesus, it was quite common to ask a teacher or a rabbi to summarize the Jewish tradition in one sentence, to describe what is at the heart of all the commandments and all the laws. What is the foundation of everything? Now we see Paul doing this in today's second reading, which is taken from Paul's letter to the church in Rome. Now, Paul wrote this letter to the Romans in advance of his visit to Rome. Paul did not establish the Christian community in Rome like he did in other places to which he wrote letters. So, he wants to introduce himself prior to his visit, and he wants to give a summary of his theology or the gospel he has been preaching to the Gentiles. So that's what the letter to the Romans is all about. Now, the church in Rome was filled with divisions, with power games. There were problems with inner fighting between Jewish Christians and Gentile Christians. Who is in charge? That was the topic of the fight. Now, Paul is certainly not very happy about that situation. So today he reminds the members of the church in Rome what is the most important teaching of Christian faith. Something that they seemed to have forgotten. And this is what he writes to them. He says this: "Brothers and sisters, owe nothing to anyone except to love one another. For the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. Love does no evil to the neighbor. Hence, love is the fulfillment of the law." One simple statement: owe nothing to anyone except to love one another. And that is a beautiful statement, and it sums up well Jesus' teaching and Paul's teaching, which of course is the same. Paul explains in this passage that I quoted what love is all about. And he says, love does not seek evil. Now, if that is true, what does love seek if it's not evil? Now, notice that love, as understood by Jesus and Paul, is not about feelings or emotions. Love for them is a matter of will. Love wills and seeks what? The good of the other person. The good of the other person, not the evil. And that is the point that Paul is trying to make. Love simply desires goodness. Now, you probably would agree with me that people who seek what is best for you, that people in your life who see what is good for you, that they count the most. They can be a blessing in our lives. Now, you don't have to answer these questions to get the point, but can you name the 5 wealthiest people in the world? Can you name the last 5 Heisman Trophy winners? Can you name the last 5 winners of Miss America? Can you name 10 people who have won the Nobel or Pulitzer Prize? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you name the last half dozen Academy Award winners for Best Actor or Actress? Can you name the last decade's worth of World Series winners? Now, maybe you know the answer to some of those questions. Most of us probably don't. But the point is this, that none of us remembers the headliners of yesterday or 10 years ago. Now, these are no second-rate achievers. These people are the best in their fields. But at some point, the applause dies, and that is not what and who we remember and who counts the most in our lives. Now, here are a couple of other questions. And let's see how we can do with these ones. List a few teachers who aided you on your journey through school. Name 3 friends who have helped you through a difficult time. Name 5 people who have taught you something worthwhile. Think of a few people who have made you feel appreciated, loved, and special. Think of 5 people you enjoy spending time with. That's much easier, isn't it? I mean, it's going to take time for us to kind of write it down, but we can answer those questions. And again, the lesson is relatively simple. That the people who make a difference in our lives are not the ones with the most credentials, the most money, the most awards. People who make the biggest difference in our lives are the people who care for you, people who have taught you something, people who have loved you, helped you, and been there for you. So I think that there is a lot of wisdom in Paul's words today. Owe nothing to anyone except to love one another. This is sort of the ABC of Christian faith, the foundation. And at the end, that is what counts the most.